Hey, what's up, everybody? Hebrew Israelites, once known as African Americans. Let's address this anti-Semitism stuff. Look, nobody is denying that the Holocaust existed to any large degree to where it would matter. In fact, if every American said the Holocaust did not exist, explain how that would matter when Americans risked their lives to save Israelis from persecution by Germany and Hitler. We saved their lives. Okay? They also get reparations from Germany. So they got justice. Look, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. For an individual to say that the Holocaust did not exist would be like saying World War II did not exist. It would be like saying the Civil War did not exist. Such people you ignore. So what's the big deal about anti-Semitism? There is no big deal about anti-Semitism. Like I said, sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. We are bought up. You know what? People are bought up in this world. We tell our kids, if someone calls you a name, walk away. That's no reason to fight. Jesus said it. He preached it. But then Israelis don't believe in Jesus. So, in fact, they don't even follow the Ten Commandments. And what's really bad about this whole thing is that they're so concerned about people saying that the Holocaust didn't exist, but yet still Israeli rabbis call my people monkeys. And we fought to free them from Hitler. You would think they would be thankful. They wouldn't be so irrational. A lot of black people died fighting for their freedoms. And the worst part about it is that they were the first to sell slaves all over the world. But then you're going to chastise Cayenne for anti-Semitic remarks. And then you're going to jump on Kyrie, and he did not make anti-Semitic remarks. Well, the world is showing you what they think of you and your anti-Semitism. I would have to say that nobody cares because you got justice. You got justice, so what's the big deal? Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt you. Are you so, what, are you, is your feelings hurt? Well, how do you feel, black people feel when you call us monkeys and say that we're ignorant after we risk our lives saving you? That's really arrogant of you. And you should apologize. And you should be the first to sell reparations because it was your ships that moved Portuguese, so-called Hebrews. It was your ships that was used to transport African Americans, now known as Hebrew Israelites, to America to endure slavery. And you profited off of it. And worse than that, you turned 12 tribes into a religion. Judaism was not a religion. It was 12 tribes. It was 12 tribes. That's what it was. But the only way you could get your foot in the door was to make it into a religion. Then you have the audacity, I should say ignorance, to kick Ethiopians, Jews out of Israel and you sterilized 600 black women. And the most puzzling thing about it is that you lead the world in skin cancer. You lead the world in skin cancer. You can't even live in Israel. Your best chance of living in Israel is to mix with Ethiopians, black Ethiopians, so that your progeny will have melanin in their skin and they will not be the victims of melanoma, skin cancer. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And see, I know for a fact, I remember when you were importing Ashkenazi Jews called Russian Jews to Israel because you did not have enough variety in your DNA. You see, the less variety you have in your DNA, the more chance of mental damage as well as physical damage. You need a variety of DNA. The more different types of DNA you have, the stronger you are as a person. The less mixture of DNA is like having a brother and sister have children, cousins having children. That causes a weak individual. And one has to wonder, did you bring in Russian Jews too late? Did you bring them in too late? Has the damage already been done? With all due respect. Now understand this. I have no dislike for people, period. Because I'm not going to carry that burden on my shoulder. But I am going to call a fool, an intelligent person, an intelligent person. But to get back to my main point, evidently the world is not worried about people saying that you are the world is not worried about people saying that the Holocaust didn't exist. That's even proven with Kyrie. Because everybody is waiting to see who he gets sneakers from, who he signs with. That's the hottest topic. And everybody's hoping he signs with SIA. Because they make some nice shoes. And you even went to some of his games, had your little crowd with some of his games there to attack him as being anti-Semitic and keep this thing going. And guess what? Nobody cared. Nobody paid you any attention. Nobody paid you any attention. And the only reason why you came up with this anti-Semitism was to keep you in the news and to try to make you relevant. But you're not relevant. You don't have, if you led the world in music, and people followed you musically, nobody does. If people followed you, if you had athletes all over the world, you don't have that. And yet that brings up another issue. If you so God's chosen people and you the master race, how come nobody even hears about you? What have you done so great? I can't name, the only Jewish person I can name is Einstein. And a couple, maybe two or three. You can go to anybody on this planet and tell them to name a famous black person. They won't even get out of music. And they can't get out of music because they'll be naming 20, 30 people. And don't even mention athletics, they'll still be talking about African Americans, now known as Hebrew Israelites. If we're not God's chosen people, I don't know who is. I don't know who is. Hey, it is what it is. Let's see who Kyrie signs with. And when Yee comes out with his new shoe, people are waiting, and he's gonna blow up. I mean, you guys got nothing coming, and I mean, you have nothing coming. You are not even Jews. You are usurpers. The Bible calls you the synagogue of Satan. The Bible says you worship at the synagogue of Satan, and based on what you're doing to the Palestinians, I mean, one would have to agree, because you're taking land from people, and you never even lived in Israel. Talking about you are returning to the land. How you returning to the land and you leading the world in skin cancer? If you leading the world in skin cancer, maybe God doesn't want you to go back there. What do you think? I mean, if I was one of your people, I wouldn't go to Israel. For what? And catch skin cancer? I know there was a guy in the paper. His son was molested by rabbis and people in the Jewish community. And I can't think of his name, but I did a post on it. His father and his family was excommunicated. He went to Israel, and for some reason or another, he's got cancer. He's got cancer in Israel. I don't know if it's skin cancer, but he's got cancer, and I'll bet $1 to your nickel that he's probably got skin cancer. Well, like and subscribe, people. Like and subscribe, and let's move on.